Y'all, welcome to this live. This is actually the first time I'm doing live on StreamYard and YouTube, so it's really an experience, and I wish everybody welcome. If this is your first time joining myself, I want to tell you that you're welcome to this channel. We hope to, get come on live more, and we'll be able to talk about the latest in the world of sports. Today, I'm privileged to come before you. I do not take this for granted. We are all passionate about football and we know what it entails. And the latest defeats, we're just getting over it. So people are being like, what is next? Wow, I'm sorry for coming in late. This is like I said, it's my first time of coming on here on live. So it takes a while for one to adjust to this. And of course, my background too is a learning process. It has can only get better, and I'm sure that next time we'll be able to, get something more better than this. So let's just dive right into it. I'm hoping that people are watching. Where are you watching from? We're going to be talking more about the current events that is going on in the world of football, especially Nigerian football. Where are you watching from? Just to know what is really happening on there. So I'm hoping that one or two people can join just to start this. Anyway, like I said, we're going to be talking about Nigerian football. The Nigerian football, that's the Super Eagles. That's the team that represents Nigeria. Then qualify for the World Cup, and people have been, saying all kinds of things. People are not happy for the fact that we're not ably represented in the football. And knowing fully well Nigeria to be represented there, but into when they playing the qualifying matches, we left it till late. Again, when it was the last match, which was against the DRC, they won the match 4-3 on penalty aggregates, and that was not, and people were not happy about the whole thing. So one would have expected that the NFF, that is the Nigerian Football Federation, would have just gone, been able to fire some people, but as it is, it was just like any other day again in fact, which was not something that we really liked. People were not, as a person myself, I wasn't happy with that, but then what can we do? So those are the things that we're going to be talking about today. If, like I said, if today is your first time, we would love to hear from you, and you can always share your thoughts. What can be done? What is next for us? So those are the things that we're going to be talking about today. So my name remains Jide, and my stage name that I use on here is First Influencers. So you can either join us, and we'll go from there. So what are your, like I said, what are the expectations that has to be met? What do you think we didn't do well? What can we change? What are the things that you reckon we can change so that things like this won't happen again? So mine is, I'm thinking that the NFF should be sacked. It's something that is long overdue, because we can't continue like that. The country which I happen to be based, you can't just be like, oh, because things are not working, they are paying some people for this to work, and if it's not working, then some people have to be sacked. It's as simple as that. But when we're in our society, nobody take responsibility, nobody's even resigning, which is so much, unlike the Western world. One would have thought some people will get fired or maybe resignation. Those are the things that were expected of us. But then, as we know, that never happened. So, what do you think? I shared a link on this platform. I think if you want to join us, you can make your intentions known. You can make your comments known in the comment section, where we can always share your thoughts. What are the things? What do you feel about what happened? And again, there are lots of topics that we're going to be talking about. The next topic that we are talking about is the fact that Gattuso happens to be the coach for the Italian football team, and he was of the opinion again that that FIFA and CAF are giving too much sports to, that is World Cup sports, to the African nation. That's why his nation didn't qualify for the World Cup, which is so absurd. One would have thought that, for the fact that even Morocco got to the quarterfinal back then, one would have thought that things like that don't come out of such a player. Is a manager that has a wide experience, should be talking like that. But then when he spoke like that, one would have thought that, oh, it should know better. It can't be saying all those things because Africa has not been, to be honest, Africa has not been one of the continents that have been favored or have advantage. It has always been Europe, Europe and some oftentimes America or Americas. But now with the latest introduction of qualification, that is, we have enough people coming on there. Still, such player or manager as Gattuso, Gattuso happens to be one of the players. Remember in the 90s that represented Italian. So when people like that talk like that, it just call for, is it being racist? I don't want to use, I don't often time use words like that. But you can't be talking like that because we're being given 9 or 9 or 10 spots compared to the European side. So things like this just happen. So those are some of the topics that we're going to be talking about. I don't know what your thoughts are. Have you noticed Rick Sokin? Have you noticed the media has recently gone quiet about Ukraine and Russia? I'm not too. There's some things that this platform doesn't allow us to talk about, but I think I feel you, Rick. I'm about football, sports generally, so I can't really comment on that. But yes, media has. If you want to say that, I think media has gone a bit quiet. We're talking about Gattuso's reaction. Gattuso happens to be the manager of that's the manager of the Italian team that didn't qualify, and this is the third time that they won't be qualifying for the global events. That's the World Cup. So I guess that's where he's talking from. That he didn't like the fact that Africa is getting like 9 to 10 spots. That probably that's why his nation didn't qualify, and that's not we can ask. There has been times that it's just 3 countries that represents Africa. So when you say things like that, it makes one wonders that, wait a minute, we're also part of this great competition. We should be ably represented. That was what I was thinking, and I'm trying to bring up what his statement since that Gattuso was saying during some of his outbursts about African countries in the World Cup. So that is what I'm trying to bring up. You're all welcome if you're just joining us on TikTok. We're talking about sports. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? What are the statement right for Gattuso, for a manager like him? Was that statement necessary? Should they be making such statements? Someone of his such statement as if we're so undeserving. Why would he say such things? It's heartbreaking. Ibn Abdul Aziz, how are you? What do you feel about what Gattuso said? What are your thoughts? Where are you watching from? Where are you streaming from? When people like that say things like this, it just makes me wonder that, do they even consider us at all? Why are they saying all the things that they're saying about us? So that's why I'm saying that, let's try and talk about some of the things that he said, that when we shouldn't be, it's so funny because someone like him ought to know better. That is Gattuso. So when people like that talk, it just makes me wonder that, you know, why are you saying all the things that you are saying as a player? Was once a player, you know. So why would they say that? Um, so that's what I feel about him. Really, he's not saying the right thing, what he's meant to say as a manager. He shouldn't be saying all those things that he said because saying all those things goes a long way. You can't be at 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 that point to be saying things like that. So that is what I feel about Gattuso saying what he said. I'm still trying to bring it up. Bear with me, please. I'm trying to bring up what is his words, trying to read it out for us to know the kind of person the man Gattuso is. He doesn't portray a good image for his country because we all believe that as an Italian ex-player now manager, your words are weighty. You don't just say things like that. So again, if you can share your thoughts, that would be fantastic for us to know. So Gattuso, Gattuso, Abdulaziz, I'm trying to bring up what he said. I think my system is just acting up. So you bear with me. Bear with me, please. Bear with me. Bear with me. What are your thoughts, Abdulaziz? Abdulaziz, where are you watching from? Let's see where you're watching from to start with, so that I'll be able to talk more on this. So yes, I think it's yeah, Newman. How are you? Yeah, Newman. How are you? Where you guys watching from? This is the first time I'm doing LFC KC Brown. You're one of the regulars. LFC. I can see you. How are you? How are you doing? How was your day? I'm a Jesu Bishop. How are you? So these are some of the topics that we're going to be talking about today. I'm glad you're good, my brother. I'm glad you're. I want to believe that you're supporting Liverpool. That's why you're bearing that name, LFC. So, oh my gosh. No comment. I'm not going to say anything. So, like I said, welcome to this broadcast. Today is the first time that I'll be broadcasting both on YouTube and TikTok. So I'm broadcasting on the two platforms. So it's streaming that I'm doing. So it's a new experience. So we want to make it as interesting, and we're going to be sharing our thoughts. So I need you guys to share your thoughts. So today we're going to be talking about the ranking, the loss, and the implication of Nigeria. What is the way forward? You know, and Gattuso, Italian coach, comments, African sports debates. We're going to be talking about future of African football in the 48 team World Cup. Those are the things that we're going to be talking about. Strategic opportunities for CAF, the developments. So we have, you know, lots of things that we need to discuss tonight. Or yes, it's still tonight. So My name remains Jide. The debates across African football, some of us have been like, oh, what we went through. Now, I was expecting that even our President Tinubu in Nigeria, will be like, they will call everyone the glass house, they will call them to order, people will have resigned. But, it's just surprising that nobody's resigning. It's so shocking. Nobody's resigning, nobody's doing anything, people are still there. It's like it's the normal, like that's the normal thing to do in the environment which you can attest to, LFC, that here in England, that once you did something, that you are being paid for and you didn't deliver, one would have thought that as the head you will resign. But that is not the case. So these are some of the things that we're going to be talking about: FIFA ranking versus reality. Nigerians FIFA ranking, how people assume that will give us a hedge. People were saying when the first 50 and DRC is like 150 something. How do people think that that's going to give us an edge? I don't understand it. And looking at it, some people are still saying that despite the fact that yes, we didn't qualify for whatsoever reason, there's going to be one magic that is just going to make us qualify, which I don't get that part. I don't get it. Why would we say that we didn't? To be honest, if we need to be honest, some of you on here know, on this platform, on this different platform, know that we didn't really play well, and for whatsoever reason, you know, unashamedly, I'm saying it, that even the referee for whatsoever reason was a bit towards us. So it was even as if the DRC was playing, 12 players, including the referee. Good thing is the referee never gave anybody commending for, it will have been so glaring. Everybody knows it, that wait a minute, that these people, they are not. Can you please tap? Can you please type, because I'm getting notification that it's not active. Can you please tap on TikTok, please? If you can tap like, if you can send gifts, I will really like it. I will appreciate it. Can help share, and please, your comments on here. Your comments is welcome. I'll really love you guys to tap on here, because I don't want this to go off, because it's been saying we're not active. So please do tap, send your likes. I really appreciate that. Where are you watching from? Where are you watching from? Guys, I need you to tap, please. This thing is gonna go off. TikTok is saying it's inactive, so it's gonna. I need you guys to tap. If you can, please. It will really be nice to see you guys tap. Give me some likes. Some likes. That's what I'm trying to say when I say tap. It's still zero, and I've been doing talking for quite a while now. So what are your thoughts, guys? What do you think? That's Olivia, how are you? You're welcome. Let's get some likes off you guys. Let's get some likes off you. So what are your thoughts? What do you think? What do you reckon we can do better, as a nation? Hey, Arona, you said you're gonna follow. I didn't see you. I looked around for yourself. I didn't see you. And the other guy was, you know. But I didn't see you. The coach the other day was asking if, you know he wanted to follow yourself, and I told him that I didn't see you. So, guys, like I said, if it would be nice to get some likes from you guys, just tap on your screen because TikTok is saying that this is gonna go off. I said it. Oh, you are following him. Okay, that's fine. TikTok, thank you, Arona. Thanks for this. So we're talking about different things, including what Gattuso said. I was saying just shortly before you came on. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Arona. Arona. So thanks for the likes. And we're talking about what the Italian coach. There are lots of things. There are lots of topics that we're discussing. We're explaining. We're talking about FIFA ranking. How people assume that we will get an edge. Thank you very much, Arona. Thank you. That will get an edge, despite the fact that we didn't qualify. People were assuming, in fact, on social media, people are still assuming for whatsoever reason that because of the FIFA ranking, that we're going to be, above. We're still going to qualify. Some people even said it to the extent that if at the end of the day that DRC got beaten, that Africa is meant to have 10 representatives, that automatically, because of FIFA ranking, that Nigeria is going to qualify. What are your thoughts? How true is this? Because I find it very hard to believe that could that be the order of the day? Could it be like that? So automatically, then we may as well not just do anything, It will change for now. Nigeria has been broken from a long time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I don't know. Are you talking about the events that's happening in our beloved country now? Let's stick to football. I don't know, please, because I don't want them to give me a mark, a negative marking on here. I think you're talking about, I know what you're talking about, but I would love us to talk about this. So, talk about all day. Let's try and stick to the topics that I'm discussing, if you don't mind. So, but in knockout or playoff matches, ranking don't guarantee anything. Pressure, mentality, and composure matter far more. Yes, these are some of the things that I was able to get during my research, that this playoff match or matches, it's only that we're able to put in our best, not about the ranking. It's not about the ranking. The mentality, the composure, that goes more, and those are the things that the DRC was able to exhibit during our last match. Should Nigeria rely on reputation or build more consistency for big moments? That's another key question. Should Nigeria rely on our past reputation or build more consistency for big moments? I would say we need to build more. There are no underdogs. There are no underdogs out there. We need to build more on all this. And by building more, we'll be able to be like, people will be like, oh, this is Nigeria. They are always, on top of there. Look at what the Algerians, the Egyptians, even the Moroccans, if you see the way they play now, it's phenomenal. Those people they are out of this, the way they're playing, they're out of this world. They're not, relying on names that, oh, because we've achieved this in the past, automatically our reputation should, on paper, yes, that works. But then on here, when we get to the playing field where everybody's on there, it doesn't work like that. And that was what happened during the Nigerian DRC match. We got a shocker. It was a shocker, and people will have thought that that we need to sit down and think about this. So then what is the way forward? These are, these are crucial things that we need to, yeah. I don't, I don't think things in our country will change. Football will. I don't know. I'm reading your comments. I don't think things in our country will change. Football will not work in the country. Yeah, to be honest, I think it can work if they are able to. It's from the head. It's from the top. It's from the top. I think it can work simply because if we address the issue of leadership, who are the people at the top? Just shortly before, when we played Gabon, before we played DRC, players were on bonuses. Players were on bonuses. The government has to release like a billion naira for the players to be paid the past, the past bonuses. Which shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be the case. We need to say all these things. It shouldn't be the case. We should say it the way it is. And it's so frustrating because the people that are on at the top, FIFA has released that money, all the bonuses, but because they are leaders, they sat on this and you know, they went through the funds, all those funds. The government had to release again. The government had to release more funds, and that was when after the was it in the dressing room that the sports is it the head of sports in Nigeria, sports commission, had to take money, you know, to the players in the dressing room, and it's shocking. It's shocking. You see, I don't know. I have a problem with that. I don't know. I have a big problem with what you just said now. It's Why must it be like that? Why does it have to be like that? A way? What way? That means they are bending rules. I don't know. You can't be. I can't believe this. That's the shocking thing. That it's shocking. Why must there be a way? Why? Why must there be a way? Are we saying that we're better than? Don't get me wrong. When it comes to sales of tickets, merchandise, when it comes to World Cup is a big business. Football is a big business. Yes, you know, Nigerian tickets will sell more than DRC tickets. If Nigeria wants to play there, because Nigeria has representation in the US, lots of people are there of Nigerian descent. Yes, Nigeria has representation there. But again, why must it be that Nigeria has to find a way? There should be. That means they're bending the rules. They're bending the rules. We shouldn't be. Let us go back to the drawing board. Let's go and sit down. And that is what, because if Nigeria found a way to go to the World Cup, they will still, sit on all these funds. It's the same people, and that's the problem I'm having with the head. Even our president didn't deem it fit that they should fire everybody. Everybody in NFF should be fired. That was what I was expecting. But no, they didn't do that. And look at what Aruno is saying now. Aruno is saying that Nigeria will find a way. Why? Why must they find a way? They should go back. They should go back. Why must they find a way? They're not good enough. That's why. When everybody was coming for the qualifiers, they were all doing big. I'm the big name. I'm the big. No. Now, things have happened now. Everybody's running out to skelter. No. I don't believe in that. I don't. Why did FIFA say we have a second way to go to the World Cup? And I don't. You see, that is the. You see, I don't know. You are digging some things up. I like this conversation because, it's I love the fact that you are, please, guys, if you have not started following, please do. I want you to follow. Tap on your screen, please. I don't want the screen to go off because I've been getting notification that people are not liking. You see, the problem I'm having now, which you just raised now, it's a problem. Why must it be that FIFA has to find a way, for Nigeria to qualify? That is not good. That is not good. Even if we go to the World Cup, what are we going there to? It's just that we made it. That's just it. It's not for anything. It's not. If you ask me, it's not for anything. It's not for any purpose whatsoever. It's just for us to be like, oh, as Nigerians, we went to the World Cup. That is what we're just going there to do, and that's the truth. It's not as if we're going there to do anything. If we're able to look at the Moroccans, look at what the Moroccans were able to achieve. They were able to get to quarterfinal. And it was because of them that Africa has more spots. It was because of them that Africa was able to get more spots. That, okay, let's have more spots so that more Africans can have representation. That is why, if it wasn't for, the Cameroon did it years back, then with this now, what the Moroccans were able to do. But if I'm a Nigerian, if Nigeria goes there, it's just, giant of Africa. Are we really the giant of Africa? Are we really the giant of Africa? Let's be honest. Let's call it spade a spade. Are we really the giant of Africa with what we're doing, with what we're playing? No, I don't believe so. I don't believe so. And it shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't be. It's depressing. Before things are going to the World Cup, things must change. That is why, I don't know, listen to what I'm saying. That is why they have to sack everybody. They need to sack everybody, and that is the truth. They need to sack everybody in NFF, in the glass house. Let them sack everybody. If they sack everybody, people will sit right. When our president said what he said, Olufemi 27, how are you? When our president said what he said, that we should put everything behind us and focus on AFCON, I was really, is that the best you can do, Mr. President? Is that the best thing you can do? You see, it's the same people that are just ruling, as in the glass house. It's just like, I don't want to even go into politics. It's the same people, they're just passing themselves round and round and round. I saw a video of Pinnick saying that it would be a disaster if Nigeria didn't go. Nigeria has a huge community. Why? And it's one of them. It's one of them. That was when we're still playing the qualifying. But look at the events of things. Look at the events of things. It's just really unfortunate that things like this can happen. How did we get here? How did we get here? We need to, talk to ourselves. Is it just the same class of people? Is it the same class of people that can only manage football in our beloved country? Why is it that it's the same people that are there? Why is it is the same people that have always been, they are still there? Why can't it be different sets of people? Let new people come on. Let them come on and let's see how things are. And that's the problem I'm having. That's the problem I'm having. We cannot be doing what we're doing and expecting a different result. Okay, the governments and NFF don't. Yes, they don't. Obviously, they don't, because if they do, they won't be. It won't be the usual thing that which it was. It won't be. Obviously, they don't. But it is what it is. There's nothing we can do, and we are praying that don't fear big join. Don't fear, how are you? They don't. It's the same people, the same set of people. They just recycle themselves. Anytime I remember all this, I get wind up, because we know that we can do better. We can do better. It's just unfortunate that we are where we are. We're where we are. How can we be a big country and don't have a good stadium? Please don't. I saw a video. Maybe one of these days I'm gonna bring it, some of these videos that I have privy to. This stadium thing that you said, that one of the senators from Delta, Ned, Ned, I'll just say Ned, Senator Ned, that he said he was able to post some of this. I don't know where he got the pictures of some stadium, the stadiums were built, very beautiful, fields, pitch, or whatever you call it, with structures in place, only for one of the content creators to go to the place that the senator said he has been able to build in Delta. On getting there, I don't know, it's you that I'm saying this to. On getting there, they found out that there was nothing like that. The place was like a forest, a thick forest. And he was saying on social media that he was posting, why? That's deceit. Why do you have to, why would you deceive people? I don't get it. Over here, it's a big slap on your face when someone tells you that you're a liar. How can a senator of Federal Republic, a senator of the Federal Republic, says that, be posting on his handle, be posting false news? How can you? How does it? Say it's worrying. It's worrying. No integrity. They don't care about good names, and it's so shocking when people, can bring themselves, to that kind of a thing, talking the money for themselves and don't want to use it for good stadium. It's just so bad, so depressing. Let's go to some other. I don't even want to, honestly. I don't even want to say all those things. Some people were saying that Osimhen had an injury. can we truly say that Osimhen had injury and that was why he was being subbed? I want to read your comments, guys. Can we say Osimhen was truly he had an injury and that was why I'll come back to that question. Do you think the question that I asked now, do you think Osimhen was injured and that was why he had to be subbed? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? To me, to me, to be honest, I feel that he never had a good match because the DRC have so much mastered the way we play, our pattern. They've seen the videos, so they've so much watched the way he plays to the extent that it was practically blocked out of the game. It was practically blocked because the balls were coming to his back, but the ball couldn't get up front. I don't know why people can't lob the ball to get to him. So he was being they gave him someone. Excuse me. They gave him someone that sat with him, and that person really was able to pin him down. So I feel that that was the reason why he was being subbed, not necessarily because he had an injury. I don't think so. So, what do you think about that? I don't know. Thanks for liking the video. Guys, apart from I don't know, guys, I won't need you. We have 3 people up there. If you can like this, I really appreciate it. I don't know has been the person doing all this. And let's try and get this. We need more goal score, not just goal scorers, not just to Osimhen. And if he was injured, someone should step up. Yes, yes. As a footballer, I've been like, you can't just have Osimhen, not because anything can happen. Even let's even say we qualified and we ended up going to the World Cup. Are we now saying that if anything happens to Osimhen in the World Cup, are we saying that then that's the end of our World Cup journey because we won't have a striker because we built the whole team on Osimhen? We built the whole team on Osimhen. It's not. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You can't build your whole team around just one person. You can't. You can't, build your whole team around just one person. If there's an injury, that means the person will just be that's the end of that's the end of the whole campaign. That's the end of the whole campaign. So things like this gets through to myself, so that's my take on getting more players that can step up, like I don't know, like you said, that can step up, take position. If Osimhen is down, they can always sit in for him. That is what I feel about this whole thing. So the next topic that I want us to talk about again. Yeah, I don't know. I think you asked a question of funds that FIFA gave to Nigeria. They mismanaged the funds. What happened was that FIFA was or what the head of Sports Commission, Football Federation, Seidu, what he said was that FIFA employed directly contractors, which was never the truth. That FIFA FIFA cannot travel from Switzerland. They will come now. Same people that have been, sitting managing the NFF, that the ones that went to get their contractors, that FIFA liaised with or liaised with. And now, instead of FIFA to be paying them directly, I hope I'm like following me. I don't know. I'm trying to explain this to you. That FIFA now spoke to central bank, that they paid central bank, that central bank should be released funds, from intermittently, that they should be releasing the funds, not everything. They should be releasing it when one phase, they should release this, they should release. And again, FIFA didn't pay these contractors directly because FIFA doesn't have individual accounts. So the funds that were being released was released to the NFF. And the NFF, listen to what they said. And the NFF now said they paid bank charges and some administrative fees. They took out 15%. Each time they release funds, they took out 15%, which is, it's just. Then another excuse was that because that the FIFA, paid the money in Nigeria, that they paid the money in dollars, and because these contractors, they are in Nigeria, they went to black market to convert the money to naira and now pay these contractors. So you can imagine that is how they mismanage that money, the funds. I hope I was able to explain in details, because all those things, when they were asking Seidu, the chairman for Football Federation, they were asking him on live. They were asking all these questions. He kept on dodging. That look, FIFA should release, the account. Let them go through that. Okay, is it something that if they claim that they don't have anything to do with this, they claim that the funds went to the FIFA paid directly to the contractors, let them print out, you know, the accounts. But during the interview, we are what we continue for doing. See, it's not a palatable thing. It's not a palatable thing, honestly. It's depressing when you think about it, all the challenges, when you think about all these things. How can a country, do that? They've not, they FIFA didn't pay them directly because of mismanagement of funds. FIFA decided that, okay, we're not going to pay you directly. We're going to pay. They contacted the CBN. CBN gave them an account that they should be releasing those funds, instrumentally. And what they did was the NFF, they met with the central bank that released this money to us, thinking that to contractors, but lo and behold, our our head of football federation, they took the funds, they went to a black market. Oh, Mr. Austin, I took a cue from you. You're welcome. You're welcome. I took a cue from you. I said, let me. That's the first live on my YouTube that I'm doing, even though there's nobody watching me on there. So, but it's the first one, so that's fine. So they had to take money from central bank, and that was how they were able to disburse all the money. When I saw the videos which I learned all these things from, I was shocked that how can we as a country, what kind of image are we portraying when people look at us, the leadership? How do we say no that we are truly the giants of Africa? It's something that we need to look into. The glass house, they need to subject them for them to be able to be accountable. Accountability goes a long way. We cannot continue this way. If we are like this, nobody's going to take us serious. And it's going to be, like any other, when it comes to Africa, they can't be saying that they know us with corruption and then we'll be like, yes, truly, we thrive on corruption. It is shocking. It is shocking and it is disgraceful. It is disgraceful. How can we not go? Yes, boss. Accountability is key. Yes. How can we go? We now go to, sit there and say that nobody, we're the giants. The giants, and we're not accountable. There's no accountability. It is frustrating. It is frustrating, and we cannot continue like that. We cannot continue like that. So that is the way, that we need to go. There has to be procedures in place. I was listening to Austin. I was listening to your um show yesterday online. I came to your live, and people were talking about different things. How it sees that Nigeria won't be represented. And I also stumbled on a video that Pinnick did, was saying some few weeks back, that how can Nigeria not go to the World Cup? Look at what's happened now. That we have lots of representation, lots of people on or in America. We have lots of Nigerians in Canada. We have lots of Nigerians in the US. Lots of Nigerians well represented there. Who is going to, how can we not? He said, he made the statement, what I'm saying now. He said it himself. Yes. Just imagine the president of Nigeria in the US, Canada, and Nigeria won't be out. It is shameful. It is shameful. Thank you very much for this. Thank you so much for this, for the heart me. Thank you. I really appreciate this, my brother. I really appreciate this. I really, really appreciate this. So, how can we go there? Nigeria has representation in the US. Do you know how many Nigerians are in the US? How many Nigerians are in the US? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the live. Lots of professionals, and that is why I'm thinking what Aruna said initially, when Aruna said maybe one way or the other that FIFA is going to do that magic, that Nigeria has to be in the World Cup. It is shameful. If that is the case, why must they always bend the rules? Why do they have to do that? We need to be honest. We're Nigerians. Let's say it the way it is. Let's say it the way it is. Let us go back to the drawing board. We were not there. If we did, Italy has not, the Italian club country, they've not been to the World Cup 3 consecutive times. 3. We are shouting 8. 12 times they've not been. They've not been for 12 years. They got whooped. They won't be going. They didn't die. So when they are saying all these things, it worries me. Why must they be bending that for us to go to the World Cup? Let Ed Rhodes, let them sack everybody in the glass house. Let them sack everybody. Let them go. I'm sure that this time next week, people will have forgotten all these things. It's painful because we don't learn. If we go to AFCON, Morocco, I was saying that if they do not win the AFCON, I can't forgive them. That will be the only consolation. That is the only for them that, okay, yes, we want to go. That should be the only consolation. That is what we want. That or nothing. That or nothing. So that from there, we'll be able to be like, okay, yes, let's build on this. Let's build on this. Let's build on it. I mean, what are we doing? What are we going there to do? Why would they bend rules? One way or the other, they will do one thing, they will do the magic, like Fela said, they will do something, we just see ourselves in the front. Why must it be like that? Why must it be like that? That's not a fair thing for other. Are we saying the other peoples are so undeserving? Other countries are so undeserving that they are not, if the referee, I shouldn't be saying this. The referee, we never learned. Terrible leadership, it's a shame. Of course, it's a shame. It was so obvious. I was now like, is the referee doing what he's doing that I think I'm doing? I went live. People were lambasting us that the referee were bending. I don't know. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate your presence. Thank you so much. Thank you for being there, for always coming out like this to support myself. I do not take it for granted at all. I really appreciate this. Thank you so much. Good night. So how can they say now? How can they say now that, that we that they didn't bend rule for us? Our integrity is at stake. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all. It's not. I'm ashamed. Honestly, I'm ashamed that we can descend that low. That CAF and FIFA will be finding a way of us going to the World Cup when we are so undeserving. We're so undeserving. They cannot do that. They should not do that. They should not do that. Let us go back. The AFCON thing, they should win it. That is my own. That they should win the AFCON. After winning the AFCON, we'll be able to be like, okay, yes, they won the AFCON, and from there, we'll be able to go on. Let us have pride so that we didn't bend the rules that we told them. And it's people like myself and Austin and some other people that can say this, that can say it categorically, no, you can't be doing this. I wish I have more people to contribute to this life. It will have been good. It's shameful. We never learn, we never learn terrible leadership. It's a shame. It's a shame. Honestly, when the DRC people were saying it, I was just looking. I can't even argue it because it was so obvious. Mwabali, he practically, the ball went in. The ball, if it were to be the other side, I'm sure that referee. The referee didn't even go and check the VAR. It didn't. What is VAR? What is VAR? If it were to be against Nigeria, that referee will go and check. All the people that I followed in South Africa, I couldn't tell them anything. I could, and there are some of these South Africans I know, they are full of xenophobic kind of people all around, and the kind of hatred that they were spewing, I couldn't stand it. I just chose not to. Yes, we will to the answer. I just chose not to go to the page. There is one gentleman that I follow on TikTok, Baba Matweta. The man, the way he speaks about Nigeria is nuts. So now, knowing fully well that there are things that we did that they never liked, that they are feeling that Nigeria is this, they called us all different kind of name. So I will now go to his page now. They will now be saying all those things. Our leaders need to listen to what people are saying about us. Our leaders, they need to listen to what people are saying about us. These are not good things. These are not good things. Oh, please, this thing is going to go off. Please, I'll urge you guys to please like this. I just got a notification from TikTok that they're going to, our leaders don't care. They need to care. Oh my gosh. If you travel as in, man, if you travel, you know that they need to care. They need to. How can they not care? You don't have integrity. You'll be like, they came to the World Cup, look at them, they bend. It is not. Sometimes that I travel with, just after Easter code. God. Oh, gosh. I'm always asking that question. I said, who did this to us? We need to go and appease the gods. Whoever did this to us, we're so, that nonchalant. They don't, like Austin said, they don't care. How can we not care? How can we not care? The way these people speak about us, the way they talk about Nigeria. Sometimes I go to workshops and events. I go to work up an event. I'll just be looking because, okay, I'm privileged to have the passports here. So some of them don't know that I understand what they are saying when they are talking about Nigeria. So when they are talking, I'll just, because I'm not carrying. So when they are saying all these things, it's the image has been so destroyed. We don't have integrity, the corruption. It's this is not the way it's supposed to be. We cannot continue like this. We cannot. So what do we? The painful thing which people don't understand. When I woke up like 2 mornings, like 2 days ago, after the match, when I got up, I was expecting that our beloved president would have called that, glass house reports to the presidency. Reports. And our president is saying that we should put it behind us. Put what behind us? We should concentrate on AFCON. Mr. Dan, how are you? Where are you watching from? Where are you watching from? Thanks for the follow. Where are you watching from? My brother, what you're saying is the truth, honestly. From Germany, how are you? From good morning, my brother. Good morning. It's you and I are here, Mr. Austin. You and I, we are here in this Nigeria, in this UK. You and I know that if it happens here, someone will have resigned. Someone will have resigned. We need to, you see, we need to say the truth. We need to say it the way it is. We need to say the truth. Someone will have resigned. In fact, they won't even wait to be summoned. Summoned. No. You can't be summoned. Let me just resign. Let me go. And that is integrity. That is integrity. Mr. Shebu still sat there in that glass house. Sat down in that. Let me read out the communique that was being released. Let me read it out. You know, the summary of it. Summary version of the NFF apology public statement that, the Nigerian Football Federation issued a heartfelt apology to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the federal government, and millions of Nigerians, particularly the passionate Super Eagles fans. They described the defeat Nigerians failure to qualify for the 2026 World Cup as a moment of profound sadness and more than just a team. The NFF acknowledged the disappointment was huge, admitting that collectively they did not deliver what Nigeria deserved. If you did not deliver, then you resign. You resign. You did not deliver, resign. In the dressing room after the match, the pain was palpable among players. Many struggled to even speak. They expressed gratitude for the broad support they received from the government, from the ministries, from the diplomat missions, and above all, from fans. You see, let me address that. You see, why must we, Nigeria, why must we wait? Why must they wait? Those players, they express gratitude for broad support they received from government, from ministries, from the diplomatic missions, above all, from fans. Growing up years, when I was my growing up years, when they take me to National Stadium in Surulere, when we go to National Stadium, you can't try that. All we are saying is give us one goal. All we are saying, you can't try that. What the things that they are trying, those boys, you can't try it. You can't. You cannot. If you see the way they are moving, why are they taking the stadium to you? They're going that far. They don't need to. You see, the stadium thing, that's another topic for another day. That's another topic for another day that we need to talk about. That stadium. That's really when I was in secondary school. That I followed my uncles to go and watch matches in stadium. You can't try the crowd when you see them. How many people want to travel from Lagos to Uyo to go and watch? How many people? Thank you for the rose, Mr. Dan. How many people want to follow travel? Is it on the roads that are bad? An average Nigerian, are they well fed to the extent that they will go and get a ticket? Let's go and watch match in Uyo. Are they well fed? Are they that well fed that they want to go? They want to travel to? When you see the crowd and you are seeing their face that you better do something. No, these people they will beat. So I'm continuing with the release. They made a solemn commitment to rebuild. We will rebuild trust. We will restore pride. We will reclaim our standing on the global stage. We will not allow the disappointment to be the final word on Nigerian football. Who are you giving all those promises or those pledges to? I've been, because of my course for this that I've been doing this now, I've been meeting on this app, this TikTok app. I've met quite a number of people, on here that are, local players. Austin, I've met some local players on this app. The way those people play, but they never have an opportunity. They don't have that opportunity to be able to play for the national team. Eric Shell, they need to. That guy is not assertive. If you ask me, Eric Shell is not assertive. He still look for, I don't know, for all those big names. All those big names. He still look at, if they're not playing, you bench them. If they're not playing, you bench them. It's as simple as that. I said it, and I've been saying it, that Lukman is not supposed to be in that team. Lukman was not supposed to be invited. Psychologically, mentally, Lukman is not sound or was not sound. He had no business. He had no business in that team. No business at all. But he made the team. He made the team. We're just deceiving ourselves, honestly. If we continue like this, we are deceiving ourselves. We are not going to. And let's go write it down. There are 4 of us that are online now, including yourself, my guy Austin, including yourself. You are here now. You and I know that is the same people that he used that messed us up. It's the same people that are going to be called up to come and play in AFCON. Look at the way that Frederick was playing. will I say it's a good thing that Ola had an injury? Do I have to say that? I'm not happy that he had an injury, but if he had not had an injury, that guy, look at the way that guy was playing. The guy, they were practically pushing him away. That you guys, you have to. The guy was, he wrestled. Is it wrestling? Is it kung fu? He was able to mark them down. They couldn't go through him. He marked them down. And that is a local player. There are more of him, more people like him, more people like him, in there, but they never had that opportunity. There is a guy that I saw his video. Some of these players, they were telling me that there is a guy which I saw his video. Akikumi Amao. You know the guy, Austin. The guy plays in Japan now, from what I heard. He used to be in Denmark. I think something happened, which I can't be saying on here. He had to move to. The guy, Abramovich said that guy is a young Messi. I saw some of his videos. If you see the way this guy plays, I was there like, if you see the way this guy moves with the ball, the way he plays, Ian Acho was saying that they should let that guy play. Ian Acho was saying that let's let him play. The way this guy plays. So these coaches that that I interviewed, some of them I'll be bringing them from time to time. I'll be talking to them, interviewing them. Some of these boys were saying that coach, if you don't, something goes for something. You have there. Why must it be like that? Why must it be like that? At least the locals you have representation, at least the 11 players, even if it's just 4 that are local, even if it's 5, let the international ones to make up the rest for exposure, for experience. But no, all those big names, when they come, yes, they'll fly in, they'll be like, referee, I said referee, the manager will see them, won't be able to talk to them. Because even they are earning more than what the manager is earning. We need, I'm saying it, Eric Shell is not assertive. It should go. If you ask me, NFL should be sacked. The manager should go. They are saying that they are going to leave him till after AFCON. They want to see what he has achieved, what he has done. It's just like, okay, want to see what he has done. Okay, that is fine. That is fine if that's the case. But man, we should talk. We should say the thing. If we go on with Nigeria, I can't finish what this talk on my beloved country. They also shifted. I'm continuing with the apology. They also shifted immediate focus to the African Cup of Nations, Morocco 2025. If you have not started following, please do follow us. Follow this page. I'll implore you guys to follow myself. I'm just trying to build this. There are more that we'll be talking about. You can always get notification. Please like this I don't want this life to go off. It will soon go off. Hey, Precious Joe, how are you? I don't want this life to go off. So please do like it. It's been nice for you to follow. Thank you, Mr. Dan. I know you followed already. Helping to share, tell your friends. From time to time, be coming out here, be talking about this regularly. And my YouTube channel too. I'm on YouTube too. That I know that you guys should follow myself. I'm on YouTube now, and I don't have anybody on there. I will have brought people in to share comments with, to talk to, that we can have a discussion, like you talk, discuss more, listen to you on YouTube. So, but on here, I'm not able to bring anybody up on here. I'm just reading your comments on here. But on YouTube, if you go to my YouTube channel, it's First Influencers. That is 1ST Influencers. You see me there. You can always come into the studio. We interview you. We talk. You express yourself. You share your comments. That will be nice. Do follow if you can. It's the same thing here. The name here, First Influencers. That's on. Is the same thing. The same name on the YouTube channel. First Influencers on YouTube. First Influencers on TikTok. So if you go there, I'll be able to bring you in. We can have a chat on there on YouTube. So if you can, there's a link on there. That you can use to click on the link, and it will bring you into the studio so we can have a chat. Yes. So then the next topic is, do we just look to AFCON? What are we? Why AFCON is not just a consolation prize? It's a strategic reset to rebuild confidence, test new tactics, integrate new players. I'm hoping the part that integration of new players. That is what I'm hoping for. Integration of new players. It will be wonderful if you can have, new players that are hungry. That they will restore, they will rebuild the confidence. We don't have an average Nigerian doesn't have any confidence in this so-called players. It's just it's not something that anybody will sit down and be like, okay, I can bet you these people are going to make me proud. No, that person will just have a shocker. Yes. How AFCON's success can restore belief among fans and within the squad. That's why I'm saying that. You see, this AFCON competition, my take on it is they have to win it. That is my own take on it. For them to, on the wayside, they go and drop. No. They need to win. They need to win it so that they can rebuild that confidence. Then people, even the fans, will have, like, okay, yes, even though we didn't go to the World Cup, but we're able to win this. That is what I'm expecting them to do. That's what I'm expecting them to do. Risk over investing emotionally in AFCON could distract from long-term goals, e.g. World Cup, which is true. Over investing emotionally in AFCON, that could distract, yes, from long-term goals, e.g. the World Cup, yes. So they need to. I don't want them to miss what is important. That yes, the AFCON thing, let them win it. But the main thing is going to the World Cup. World Cup is big. World Cup is big. That's a global event. World. It's just like the Olympics. The whole world. Everybody is there. World Cup is a big business. World Cup is big. Yes. Let them go. When they go there, you'll be able to be like, okay, yes, all those players, scouts are there, sponsors are there, that are looking, investors, when they know that your country, look at what they did to Morocco. Morocco got to, quarterfinal. Look at what they did. Investments. Invest in that country. I think I've been there like 2 or 3 times. What they did, Morocco, lovely place. People are going there because, it will just open people's eyes, investors, that, okay, really, this is what they did. And when we talk about scouts are there. Scouts can always be like, okay, so yes, this person, oh, yes, let's approach this person's club. Let's approach his club. Let us buy him. Let us buy him. And those are things that they will gain. They will gain. Then sponsorship. That, wow, this person is well loved in his country. Is well loved. Look at it like Osimhen. Osimhen would have had lots of sponsors lying, telling him that send this, sign for us, we'll do this for you. But Galatasaray, that is where he went. There are still some people that don't know Galatasaray, which is true. It's not. Oceanic is there. Australia is there. There are still lots of places that they do not hide about Galatasaray. Osimhen is the best player in Europe now. Look at, that guy, they will just kill his dream. I felt for him. But if we had started doing what we were meant to do, perhaps this won't be happening. Please, if you're just joining us, you're welcome. I urge you to like this. I urge you to like the videos and, follow us. Comments. I want to read your comments. It would be nice to read your comments. What are your thoughts? Share your thoughts. It would be nice just to hear your own criticism, observation. Those are the things that we're here for, to learn from each other, to hear your views. Your opinion matters. So please do share your views. It would be nice. Do like this, because I'm getting notification from TikTok saying that we are inactive. So please do like this. I implore you to please do like it. It will be nice to get some likes from you guys. Yeah. So what's the next topic? We have lots of things that we're talking about. The next topic. So DRC Congo were in Group B. They clinched the playoff finishing. Yeah, we all know all those. The first DRC 2, then against Mauritania. DRC 1-0 against Sudan. DRC 4-1 against South Sudan. That is group stage. Then playoff parts. In the CAF playoff semi-final, DRC beat Cameroon 1-0. The last grasp, either from Chancel Mbeba. Then they face Nigeria in the, of course, that is what we've been talking about. That's what we've been talking about. SP, is that my coach? SP, is that the coach? Extra time, Onyeka scored early for Nigerian. Meshak earlier equalized for DRC in the first half. In the shootout, DRC won 4-3 on penalty to progress to the Interconfederation playoff. So, what are the significance of this for DRC? This is massive, a real shot at the World Cup since 1974. So now, since 1974, as they played at Zaire, I honestly think that they deserve it. Or to be honest, I honestly think they deserve it. Their journey shows resilience. They didn't dominate every game, but they were effective in the moments that matters. You know, players to watch: Mbeba leadership, key goals. Meshak Elia, Mael Piquel. The win over Nigeria is a statement. They handled the pressure and capitalized when it counted, which we never did. And that was why they won. We never did. That's why they won. You know, then off-field reaction headlines, because I was like, that's what is happening. There were rumors circulating that DRC players were promised 1 million each for winning, but the presidency denied this, calling it a fake news. That sounds like fake news, like someone which I don't want to mention. Fake news, fake news. The person is always saying fake news. It's a leader of one big country like that. Fake news, fake news. According to official source, the standard bonus is $50,000 per player and a collective bonus of 100,000 if they qualify. The Congolese side says it's not about crazy bonuses, but hard work. You can't blame them. If you ask me, you can't fault what they said. Let's even say that the government, excuse me, the government promised them, $1 million each. But they put in the work. They put in the work. Did we not say because of the bonuses and maybe salaries that the Super Eagles were not paid, they took the cash to the dressing room? They went to pay them. They went to pay them. So what are we saying? They went to pay these people. So it's, at the end of the day, it's about money. Even the NFF that they were saying that, it's not about money. Over here, we read about Esther codes. It's about money. It's about money, whether I want to accept it or not. And that is the truth. Let's call a spade a spade. It's about, oftentimes, it's about money. Money, money, money. That's all it's about. We're saying that it's not, why would they be promised such an amount? Why would they be promised? But that is the truth. It's about money, because once they pass that age, that is it. That is it. So oftentimes, it's about money. Are we now saying that Ronaldo, Messi, all of them. It's about money. It's about money. Don't let us lie to yourselves. It's about money. That is what I feel. That is what I feel. And it's not about. It's about money. It is. Let's leave them. They were able to deliver on what the task at hand. So the next topic is about Gattuso. Gattuso is the Italian coach. Gattuso and Europe's reaction to African sports. That is sports. There's places, sports. Recap. Gattuso remarked, he said Africa should not have more than 2 or 3 World Cup slots. What are your take on this, guys? We have 4 people online. I'm hoping that Austin is still there. Mr. Dan, what are your thoughts on that? Gennaro Gattuso remarked, he said Africa should not have more than 2 or 3 World Cup slots. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Are people still there? Mr. Dan, are you there? Mr. Dan? Austin? Are you there? Christos Joel, how are you? Why is comments struck a nerve? Many see them as dismissive and rooted in a colonial mindset. Of course, Italy is it's have fair share of people have their own mindset, that's colonial mindset, that they are better because of their skin color. From time immemorial, Europe has more countries playing in the World Cup. They have more than every other continent. So why would they say that Africa should not have more than 2 or 3 World Cup slots? You don't say that. You don't say that. That is BS. You don't say that. Why would you be saying that Africa shouldn't be given more than 2 or 3 World Cup slots? They still feel that they still live in the past, the mentality, the colonial mindset. The bigger debate should have been, should qualification sport be allocated purely on performances or historical strength? We didn't say that they shouldn't qualify. We never said that. This is the third. This is about the third time. That is 12 years that Italy has not been to the World Cup. So how is that our fault as Africans? That Gennaro Gattuso will be saying what is coming out of his mouth. An experienced player. He played in the World Cup. Gattuso played in the World Cup. The Italian team, yes. Canarivo, Gattuso. There are lots of them like that. I can't remember them now. They played in the World Cup. So, and you now came around and be saying this. How can you say things like that? Knowing fully well that what you say carries weight. What you say carries weight. You don't say. There are some things, as a leader, you can't say, that you can't say. But look at what he said. Look at what he said. So should qualification sports be purely on performance or historical strength? Because they have that historical strength, or they've always been one of the key countries, that have always gone to the World Cup. So then we should continue them, because they've always been there. Historical, the name they've made for them. Roberto Baggio is from Italy, which they won. Is it Italian 90? Which they won. It's how CAF's rising quality, e.g. DRC, challenge old narrative. They don't even, you see, those are the things that they can't even bring themselves into reckon with. How can CAF's rising quality, how can CAN's rising, that is CAF, rising countries like DRC, how can they challenge old narratives? They can't even, they can't possibly fathom the fact that DRC, which one is DRC? How can they be playing us? How can they be qualified? Then we didn't qualify. Oh my goodness. And who says DRC cannot beat the Italians if they meet at the World Cup? You will be surprised. So those are the things that no name, unknown countries will just come and whoop them. They can't. They can't imagine it. They can't imagine it. In the World Cup, I knew that Nigeria played Italy some few years ago. But they cannot. Which country is that? DRC. Cape Verde. Beating. Take that, they don't even know on the map. Beating them. Really? They cannot stand it. They cannot stand it. Heads will roll. Heads will roll. They cannot. So those are the things that they can't come to terms with. When they are mentioning all those countries or known countries to them. They cannot come to terms with that. So the next topic is future of African football in a 48 team World Cup era. I think I mentioned some earlier on. More African slots means opportunity for growth, but only if CAF invests wisely. That's another thing. Anyway, the head of CAF now is a businessman, and he's a millionaire too. So he owns a club too in South Africa. So he's one of, I think, he invests wisely. He's a businessman to the core. So I want to believe that we bring his knowledge in investing in, like I said, he owns a football club. So definitely he will know how to manage things like this. So, and again, infrastructure, youth academic, domestic leagues, coaching must improve to translate more slots into stronger. Yes, we need to invest. CAF. And that's one thing about going back to what we said earlier on about the stadium that's the so-called stadium they claim they built in Nigeria. You see, CAF is in Africa. CAF can oversee all these things. CAF is everywhere. They can oversee all these things. Not FIFA paying, especially our beloved country directly. No. CAF should be able to oversee all this infrastructure, youth academy. Youth academy is very, very important. Youth academy is very, very, very important for development of football. They're in academies, the youngsters, they come in and they go into, foreign clubs are coming to buy them. Yes, domestically, coaching must improve to translate more slots into stronger teams. Yes, you coach them, which it's just levels, and they grow into representing local leagues. You know, interconfederation play. How CAF might use this play of sports to elevate its team exposure. One of the good things about the Club World Cup is the exposure. Honestly, I think that is one of the key things that all these countries are using now, and that is why they are not, you know, when they meet the big names like Nigeria, when they meet clubs, maybe in Brazil, all those things, because most of all these players or some of these players, they play them in, Club World Cup. Then even the playoffs, interconfederation play. So they met them, they play with them, they know what they can do. The experience, the exposure is there. So yes, that's another advantage. Future of food in a 48, especially African football in a 48 team World Cup era. That's a very solid point there, because that on its own, it's something. That exposure is something. That exposure is something. And again, risk of complacency. Too many easy slots could lead to underperformance. CAF should guide against that. True, if you look at it, CAF needs to. Oh, D Consults, how are you? How are you? How are you doing? It's nice of you joining us. So, we're talking about the topic we're treating now is future of African football in a 48 team World Cup era. So, the risk of complacency, too many easy slots. So, should we say the 10 slots are too much for Africa? Because if we say that, that means we were saying that what Gattuso said is right. At the same time, we don't want to say that 10 countries playing for Africa means that there are too many easy slots. It's it's a dicey one. If we don't have enough representation, we may not necessarily get to where we want. If we have too many representation, then it's become too easy, and it can lead to underperformance, complacency. So it's CAF needs to guide against that. Then the next one is strategic vision. What should CAF prioritize? Quality or quantity? Definitely is quality, not quantity. Definitely is quality. The quality of people, the quality of countries that are representing us, the quality of the players, you know, those are things that must be looked into. Quality over quantity, definitely. And the next topic, club versus country, tension for African players. Um, Many African players now play for top European countries, of course, clubs. How did their clubs feel about AFCON or Inter-Confederation playoff? Of course, they definitely they don't like that. We know one person, what's his name, that said something here that AFCON is not that important. That he got the backlash. So we can't say for sure that, you know, in as much as we may not, the clubs may not like it, many African players now play for top European clubs. How do their clubs feel about AFCON or Interconfederation playoff? Because if they are playing Interconfederation playoffs and they are meeting in competition like World Cup, because they played in Interconfederation playoffs, they know individual players. They know them already. They may not like that. The clubs may not like that. And of course, it leaves them to try the second best, because if your best is an African and it goes to AFCON, that means you may drop in the league because your key players are not there. Your key players are not there. Someone like Galatasaray, where Osimhen is playing AFCON, and the league is going on. The club, Galatasaray, may got beaten. But if AFCON is not happening, then Osimhen is there. The same thing with Liverpool, Salah, Mohamed Salah. So those are some of the things that I think the European top clubs may not like. Release window. AFCON often comes mid-season. How to balance club demands and national teams' ambition. It's not always easy, but there's a FIFA rule in place that once you are being called, your country calls you, your club has to release you. But how do you balance it? Your I was listening to a video today that it was yesterday now, that most of these clubs, no, most of the national call that individual players answers to, the country does not have insurance in place. It's the insurance of the club that they are using. A good example is Olaino. Olaino. He got the injury. It's his club now. It's still on the paying rota. They're still paying. But he played for Nigeria. That's where he got the injury. And there's no insurance. Those are the key things that one needs to look into. I will soon be going off in another 5 minutes. For every one of you that has found time to join myself, I do appreciate this a lot. I do not take it for granted. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for your time. I will say, for being here, I say thank you. And for all the discussions we've had, your comments which I've been able to read out, These are important comments, contribution to myself. And it's my first time on TikTok, no, on YouTube Live. So I want to say thank you so much for everyone. If you have joined me one way or the other for this live, I do appreciate you for everything you've done. I do appreciate it. And I'm hoping that on Friday, when I come on, we'll be able to discuss even more on this. And I will say that probably by the time one is well known, there will be some prizes that we'll give to our followers. I really appreciate your follow. I would say until next time when I come your way again, thank you so much and do have a lovely night's rest. Thank you.